I'm Lieutenant Douglas M. Hackett of the Office of Naval Intelligence. This briefing will cover two aspects of the Pueblo incident: the Pueblo seizure and the analysis of the North Korean evidence. The USS Pueblo sailed from Sasebo, Japan on 11 January 1968, according to her own report, which was transmitted on the 23rd of January. And she entered her operating areas, Mars, Venus, and Pluto, on the 12th. Pueblo's mission was to gather data on electronic installations along the east coast of Korea. As is clear from her sailing order, the Pueblo had specific instructions that while carrying out her task, her closest point of approach was to be not nearer than 13 nautical miles from the North Korean landmass or offshore islands. All position reports transmitted by the Pueblo with respect to events on or before the 23rd place her more than 13 nautical miles at sea in strict conformity with her orders. Additionally, the North Korean position reports of the seizure did likewise. The first indication that anything unusual was taking place came sometime after 11:30 a.m. Korean time on the 23rd, when the Pueblo radio operator in operator's chatter transmitted more company and said that he intended to keep his circuit open. This radio circuit was maintained continuously during the incident, and the first formal report of the incident was sent out at approximately 1 p.m. The Pueblo, in describing the incident, said that a North Korean SO-1 class subchaser, pennant number 35, had been encountered at 12 o'clock noon Korean time. As the SO-1 class subchaser approached, Pueblo took a radar fix to verify her position. This position was reported as Pueblo's 12 noon position and put her 15.8 nautical miles from the nearest land, the North Korean island of Ung-do. Subchaser 35 reported her noon position to a shore station, and this was approximately 2 nautical miles from Pueblo and 17.9 nautical miles from that island of Ung-do, 5.9 miles outside the North Korean claimed territorial waters. 10 minutes later, the subchaser identified Pueblo as GER-2. GER-2 is painted on both sides of Pueblo's bow. The subchaser then reported Pueblo's position as 18.3 nautical miles from Ung-do, 6.3 nautical miles outside North Korean claimed territorial waters. During this period, Pueblo was dead in the water conducting a special hydrographic operation called a Nansen cast, which is accomplished by taking simultaneous water temperatures and samples at various predetermined depths. The ship's position must be precise for a Nansen cast in order to make seasonal comparisons with subsequent casts at that same exact position. Pueblo stated in her message that the subchaser had signaled asking Pueblo's nationality, to which the Pueblo responded by hoisting the U.S. ensign and the international signal for hydrographer. The subchaser then signaled, "Heave to or I will fire on you," and the Pueblo responded, "I am in international water." The subchaser continued to circle the Pueblo. This message concluded by indicating that Pueblo intended to remain in the area if possible. This was in accordance with the standing instructions regarding such harassment. The next message from Pueblo, sent just after 1:15 p.m. Korean time, described a rapidly worsening situation. The subchaser had been joined by 3 motor torpedo boats. Several MiG aircraft had appeared overhead, and one of the North Korean units signaled, "Follow in my wake," and one was backing toward the Pueblo with an armed boarding party. At 1:28 p.m., the Pueblo reported her position, which was 16.0 nautical miles from the nearest land. This was almost the same position she reported 1 hour and 28 minutes earlier at 12 o'clock noon, and is therefore considered consistent with the captain's 12 o'clock noon intentions to remain in the area, if feasible. The first part of Pueblo's 1:15 p.m. message gave the 1 p.m. relative positions of the 4 North Korean vessels laying to 300 yards away from the Pueblo. The message then changed tone, saying, "Motor torpedo boat 604 is backing toward the bow, with armed landing party, attempting to board. Pueblo, all ahead 1/3, right full rudder, departing the area under escort. Intentions, depart the area." The Pueblo sent no more formal messages, But for the next hour and 17 minutes, her radio operator continued to transmit a stream of fragmentary reports, some of which were sent on instructions from the ship's officers. At 1:26 p.m. and 1:28 p.m., the operator transmitted, "They plan to open fire on us now." For the next hour, the North Koreans fired on the Pueblo with both 57mm guns and machine guns. Subsequent reports from the Pueblo and the North Koreans stated that there were 4 wounded aboard, one of whom later died. Pueblo's position, as reported at 1:28 p.m., was 16 miles from Ongdo. Boarding was first mentioned when Pueblo reported at 1:15 p.m. that a boarding party on motor torpedo boat 604 was attempting to board her. At 1:29 p.m., Pueblo reported for the first time, quote, "We are being boarded," unquote, and Pueblo repeated that she was being boarded on 2 subsequent occasions, at 1:30 p.m. and 1:38 p.m. We now know that there were no North Korean personnel aboard the Pueblo until 2:32 p.m., when Pueblo reported, "Have been directed to come to all stop and being boarded at this time. Going off the air now and destroying this gear."